Hey guys, welcome back. It's Terry from Smooth Workshop here, and we're into build video number 8. Maths was never my strong point. Yes, it is build video number 8 of, it's only a level 3 kit. Why we want to build video number 8? We're putting LEDs into this tiny little 112 kit. If you've been following the series, you will have seen where I've got to and masked off the wings and got my first sort of different colour from the white on. And this section will cover the next series of masking, and hopefully there's only one more set of masking after that. And the methods behind it and kind of what's involved. I'm going to try and keep it short, bite-sized, little 20 to 30 minute portions, but we're nearing the final stages. Once this set of paint has went on, it's going to be on to one more set of masking, finalising the LEDs, actually weathering the model, trying to make it look kind of battle damaged and stuff. My own interpretation, it's not going to be screen accurate, but hopefully you'll get a little bit from this. So without me waffling on any much longer than I normally do, why not go and watch the video? See you in a bit. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Terry at Smooth Workshop here. I'm not doing my usual face-to-face sort of introduction to this because I haven't had a shave and I look like something from Chic. So, yes, this is build video number 8. So that's 5, 6, 8. You wouldn't have thought it on a Revell level 3 beginner's kit, but yes, 112 scale kit. We are into build video number 8. Now, the only reason we're into build video number 8 is not because it's a hard kit to do. Anybody could do this. I'm adding LEDs. So this is the kit we're building. So where we left off last, now I'm just going to pull my camera in a little bit. We had a lot of stuff masked up, and we were doing, I'll just get my pointy stick and pull this up to camera. We were doing these little insets on the wing sections ×4. And I was trying to find a colour that matched. Got a colour that matched, quite liked it, got there. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. The next stage on these wings, and actually the main parts of the body, are these little sections. Okay, and these are just little grey infills on the wings ×4. Okay, and I'm just looking back on the instructions. I'm doing a bit of a custom colour on this, so I'll bung those away. I'm not going for screen accuracy on this model. It's only you know, the kit cost me £6. I happened to fall into a shop on a Saturday morning, as a lot of you guys do, and thought, £6 for a kit, I want that. And then I went, oh, can I squeeze lights into it? And that's where it gets more complicated. So anyway, right. On the kit itself, on the wings, I have done some more masking. Oh my God, you're looking at these going, what on earth have you done, Terry? Yep. Oh, this is just stuck to the instructions. There's the other one. Yeah, these little, I'm just getting a pointy stick. These little grey inserts here, right? I had considered doing them by brush or the old fashioned hairy stick, but I thought, well, the insets, the actual colour insets on the wings with the other colour went so well, I'm going to try and mask them and spray them. So what did I do? Right, I'm not going to go over masking, I did that in the last one, but literally the colour that I am trying to do is a light grey on this section of the wing only. Yep, so flip it over, and there's one on that one and the one on the rest. Couple of tips when masking. Now, these sections that I did, this part of it comes over onto the very, very extreme edge of the wing. If I flip over, you will notice I have put some white tack. It is white tack. I've used it multiple times. I have a little, let me just go and look over here. It was white to begin with. It maybe looks blue now, but I have used it multiple times, and you warm it up with your fingers and pull bits off. It was white tack. It is now kind of like grey tack, blue tack. If you are masking very, very close to the edge of a wing, right, so you've got a tiny, tiny wee bit of masking tape going along there, if you put a little blue tack on the other side, it helps support the masking tape. So even if you've got, like a Scottish term, a ball hair of masking tape on the edge of something, the blue tack helps support it, so you can get really close in and put your blue tack on underneath. Helps support the masking tape. So I have done, these are the ones I did earlier, which turned out lovely. I've done 4 bits of masking. This is probably the messiest one. What I would suggest is before you go into paint, just make sure you burnish down all the edges with a cocktail stick before you paint them. I did 4 wings. The first one was a mess, and the other 3 were a bit easier because I got a system in place. So that's a wing. So all I'm doing on both of these wings is a tiny little inset in light grey, which is a custom colour. Right, the next bit, going on to the main body of the craft, if I was going to slot it back together, on the main body of the craft, from what I've seen from sort of the 5 leader things, I'm not going for screen accuracy, but there is a grey section runs from the cockpit down one side, under the middle, back to the other side. Now, the only thing with this particular kit is that the back end of this has a seam line that you can run the tape on. Excellent. The front line and the bottom shows you where you want to go, but it's in between 2 seam lines on the top. So what I found was easier was I did the top first, I clipped it together, run the tape up across this one, onto the top one, put it in position, which is, it's probably Scottish measurement ball hairs, but in between the 2 seam lines that are there, or the 2 indentations on the body, and run those. So I've taped that up and went across, okay, and I've cut the back one up and went across. So I have the 2 inset white at the moment, going to go in my custom colour of a light grey, square sections on the top, and the same on that side. So for the rest, I just taped it off, and again I have reused my parafilm that I used in an earlier shot, just to, mask off that end. I said I would have to, I keep having to burnish this with a cocktail stick. There is a very, very fine white trim line across there, so I've masked across that, but because it's only about 1 millimetre thick, there's nothing left to put the masking tape onto, so I have put white tack underneath to support the masking tape. So that has let me easily mask up that section. I've masked up that. There's a couple of wee jaunty angles on there. Again, before I spray this, I will just go over and press in with my cocktail stick. 2 fine lines down there. This was a dark grey before, it's now whited out, but I want this in my custom light grey colour. So that is the top half of the aircraft. On the bottom half of the aircraft, we've mentioned the grey panel will go down the side, down the bottom, and the other side. That was easy to mask up. Again, I've used parafilm for that end. And I only want one grey section on this back. So I have masked off this one grey section, parafilm on the back, totally closed off my grey bit. So we're off to the spray booth. Now, right, okay. The instructions call out for a grey that no one lists. Now, let me just pull out my instructions again. Apologies. I tend to shoot these ad hoc. So, the grey that calls for on the Revell colours is 76. It does not cross-reference to any other colour on Tamiya or any other major brands. So I made up a custom mix of XF66, which is my lightest grey. This one. With flat white. Okay, and lightened it down to get my own custom colour of, what should I call it? Smooth grey. There's their light grey. There's my light grey. It's quite a lot of tones lighter. Now, how do you work out how much white to put into your paint? Well, it's quite easy actually. You can get yourself a piece of paper like this. Now, I'm just going to pull my camera in and hopefully, excuse me, coughing away here. I will pull my camera in and get this on camera. Oh, getting to the limitations of my camera. Right, so there is a piece of paper here where I have worked out what it is. So, basically what I did with the XF66, which Tamiya already call a light grey, okay, I have taken my Tamiya paint stirrer, mixed up my paint and went down the left, and it shows me a really dark, what I would call quite a dark grey. And I thought to myself, right, I need to lighten up with XF2, and with a dropper, a pipette, I have sucked up the XF2 and a drop at a time. So I started off with 7 drops of XF2 and there wasn't really a noticeable colour change. 20 drops, a bit lighter, 40 drops, a bit lighter, 60, a bit lighter, 80, a bit lighter, 100, drop lighter, 120, drop lighter, 140, drop lighter, till I got to 160 drops. Might seem like a bit of a pain. So when I got to about 100, I put the colour swatch next to the original colour. And you can see a noticeable colour change between the original XF66 and with about 100 to 120 drops added, it is a lot of shades lighter. And when I got up to 160 drops, I put that one next to it. And that's the one I've ended up with. And that is my custom colour. So it is basically XF66 Tamiya light grey with about 120 drops. It's just in my eye of white. Drop, 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 drop. You can see them still dropping on there. I've still got bits of paint in there. Till it looked like a colour I would want to use. I want a nice light grey, and Tamiya don't currently do one. So that is what I am going to spray the bits I have all masked off. So in the next section I will come back and show you the results of the grey that I have custom mixed. And hopefully, because it's going to be another unmasking, fingers crossed, I haven't shot this bit yet, this is all live, it will give me the results I want. So for now, I'm going to go off to my spray booth. I'm going to load up my airbrush with my custom colour, and I'm going to spray all the masked off areas. I do still have, with my custom colour, I'm just looking at the right bit in the instructions, I do still have to do this stripe on the engine and that stripe on the engine, and I'll just mask, 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 and I'm going to brush paint those. But I want to initially see if the colour that I have made up suits my taste. If not, I'll leave the masking on and I'll either lighten it or darken it. So for now, and we're 14 minutes in, I'm going to go and spray these bits and come back and let you see what this looks like. So for now, Terry from Smooth Workshop, here's hoping, fingers crossed, it's the right colour and everything unmasked beautifully. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Right, apologies if you hear any squeakage on my chair. Up until now, I haven't showed you any spraying. Right, so I have made a custom colour, as I've explained, XF66 and F2. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a shake up, and it's going to be quite a short spraying session, so I'll just give this a wee mix with my Tamiya stirrer into the shot, pull the camera in, pull it down a bit, there we go. I'm just mixing up my custom mix. I have put some X28 in to thin it down to give me roughly a 50-50 mix. And I'm going to pull some of this colour up and put it into my colour cup. And I might need a little bit more. There we go. So I have some colour in my colour cup, and I'm just spreading this out here to have a wee look to see how it looks. I'm going to put my colour cap on because I've got a little bit more paint than I normally spray with, and I will put my top on my paint. Airbrushing really isn't difficult until you entangle your hose. Just pulling through some air here, pulling through the colour, which looks not bad, and I'm just going to sign my name just to check that the paint is flowing correctly. Now, what I noticed there was hissing back just a little touch. I haven't put much thinner in this, so I'm going to put a little touch more in. So just taking standard X20A, I'm going to put a few drops into my colour cup, and just to mix it up, the easy way is put my finger over the end, okay, just there, and pull back slightly, mix it up a little bit. That's just to mix the colour up in my cup. Oh, I'm getting a big bubble at the top. Is it going to pop? Give me a cotton bud. Yep, right, okay, so I've mixed my paint up, okay, just a little bit more thinner, pulling it through again, that's spraying a bit easier. You might hear my compressor kicking in. This is going to get a little bit noisy now. I'm going to put my cap on just to avoid spillages. So you might hear my compressor kicking in and my air booth, which I'm just going to switch on, kicking in. So I'm going to speak up over it a little bit. Now I have my wings masked off, and just to make sure everything's okay, I'm going to just make sure that all the important edges are tucked in, burnished off, and the same on the other side. It's quite windy here in Scotland tonight, so I'm just making sure all of these are sitting nice and taut. It really is a small area, I don't want to flood it, so here we go. Airbrush at a decent distance. I'm just going to take the pressure down actually, give me a second. So I'm spraying at roughly 18 to 20 psi. Pull paint through. And I'm going to go into my first part and just lightly mist. I'll go into the outside first, work my way in. Okay. Again on that bit, on the outside, work my way in, and a gentle mist. I'm going to do the same on the next one. Again, I'm going to check that I've burnished it in properly. When you're masking, you don't want to go in at high PSI, you want to go in at low PSI, as close as possible to the subject. Yeah. And you don't want to soak it because the masking tape lifts up. So airbrush is on, and just a gentle, I'll do it off the subject first, working my way in, and again off the subject, working my way in for the first coat. So that's the wings done. Right, the exciting bit for me. Right, okay. How do I hold this part? Right, I've got a big bit of white tack in there. I'm going to take my crocodile clip and clip onto it. I now have hold of the part. I only want to do that grey section, and along the back of the whatever you want to call it, the main engine block. So again, pull the paint through. I want to spray this way, although I've blanked it off for the cockpit, I don't really want it coming up onto my glass. So I'll just make sure I've got a really good grip of this in, get a white tack around my crocodile clip so I can hold it, and off we go. Pull paint through, gentle mist, done. Gentle mist, done, and down the back. Now, the one part I did notice, and I'm just looking for something to burnish, oh, excuse me, to burnish this one with, was that around this rear part it took a little bit more. So that's now down in place. I know my masking's good, and just a light coat. I could put my glove on, save me getting a grey hand. That's the first coat on there, okay? And I'm just looking for my paint stand, which is off camera, to put all my bits into. So I'll put my two wings and my cockpit and everything into my paint stand. Right, now I have my main body, so I'll take my stand bit off. I want to do the grey part across the middle and just this little grey square. So I'm going to approach it from beneath. Pull my paint through, a little mist, again another little mist, another little mist, this little square here, a little mist. So I'm going to let them flash off for a minute or two, and I will go back to the main wing sections that I did before. So I've got a little bit of coverage on those. So again, I'm going to pull my paint through. It's not an airbrush tutorial, just try to show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull the brush up on the left and work my way across. So that grey section is nice and wet. It can dry now. And again on this one. That grey section is nice and wet. That's it. No more paint on that one. Onto the second wing section. Again, pull myself across to the left, open up the airbrush, it's flowing. Wet the area, across to the next one. Airbrush on. Wet the area, that's that wing done. So that's both wings done. That's how quick it is. I'm going to go back onto the top section where I have the two side pieces. So I'll just pull my paint through. That's them done. Nice and wet. Nice and wet. And the grey section along the middle at the back. Catching all the angles. All done. So just the bottom bit to go over again. Take my stand off again. That section, and that section. Mist coat's on. Pull my paint through. That's that well weighted. That's that well weighted. And that section. So that's all nice and grey. And this little section here, same again. All that masking and the paint job's done. So from here, what I tend to do is I don't waste any paint, so a custom mix. So if I do a Star Wars one again, I've made up far too much paint as usual. I will pour this away back into my cup and clean up my brush. You don't want to see me cleaning an airbrush, so when we come back it will be the scary unmasking. So for now, until we go to the unmasking, it's Terry from Smooth Workshop. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Terry from Smooth Workshop here, and we're on to the scary bit. Yeah, I've already done some unmasking live. The body isn't scaring me much on both of the parts, but the wings are. So without further ado, let's try and unmask these wings. I'm only hoping to get a small, tiny wee section on these grey parts done. So let's just carefully peel these back. And I've probably overmasked them. Masking does scare me. So I'm going to take this crocodile clip off because it's a pain in the bottom, and go from here. Right, there's that wee bit of white tack that I used to support my wing. Just going to warm this up just in case there's any bits left. There is a little bit left on that one. Oh yeah, oh, didn't tell me I've managed to crack this as well. Right, so I'm just going to go in with my white tack here to take any little bits off the wing that shouldn't be there. Have I missed a little nub? Right, my intention was, oh come on, let's get some light in the subject. Just to do a little grey section in here. Slightly off with the mask in there. Slightly off with the mask in there. I don't hate to admit, but that's a pass for me. considering what I was trying to do. So all that effort and masking just for that. And I'm going to be in with an oil pin wash, so that's going to darken that area up. So on this side, I'll take off the little white tack supporting part. Again, warm it up my fingers, ready to take any residual parts off, which there shouldn't really be. Can I get as near as, right, it's not perfect, it is not perfect. I have come slightly over on that mask, so there's a white line I don't want there, and a little white shadow there, but I'll let that pass. I could touch it up with a brush, but the time I do the weathering, it's really not worth it. Let's peel this bit off. Wow, I've done all right. Again, I haven't got it perfect. Let's try to come up close to camera here. I've missed there a bit and missed there a bit. I think I will do a little bit of touch up with the brush, just into that little section. Wow, I'm quite pleased with that, because I haven't really done a lot of masking, and these two sections went perfectly. So did this, apart from I can see a wee white line there, a wee white line there, and on the other side, that's perfect. A wee white line there. I'm going to touch them up with brush, I think. But for an experiment in masking wings off, I'm really happy. Is this one better? Right, take my crocodile clip off. Let's go up for this one. Let's take the white tack off that I used for supporting the bit of masking on the wing. Again, take off any wee bits there. Back onto the wing. Let's peel for this way. Oh, that's really good as well. Missed a tiny wee bit there and a wee bit there. I will touch them up. And there's a little bit of grey as went onto here. I'll touch that up as well. But that's pretty damn good. White tack off again. Let's peel it from this end. I'm not so worried about the wings. I can touch them up. I'm going to weather them. So any little edges that I haven't got, I will get with weathering. Oh, don't tell me I've got this one bang on. Have I, have I, have I? Tiny little touch on the left hand edge of there. But otherwise perfect. So yeah. Okay, on to the stuff that's going to worry me now. The main body. Right, so a little bit of tack on there. And this is the one that I'm just looking for the end of the tape. Let's take this little end off. Here we go. There's one bit of tape, and there's another bit of tape coming this way. Now the reason I've got so much tape on here is I didn't want it going up into the clear cockpit underneath here. Hopefully that's on camera. Can I get this bit up? That's up. And so is that bit. It's sticking to the white tack. Right. Right, looking for the end of this. I'm looking for the end of the parafilm, because I use parafilm on this. Right, there's the end of the parafilm. Hopefully it's the end of the parafilm. Oh, come on, Terry. There. Right, got the end of the parafilm. So hopefully when I just unwrap this, and I'll keep this for future use because it can be quite expensive to buy in. Oh, round and round. Okay, so I'll have a nice white nose cone. Right, next bit of masking. This is a bit of a hash because I've basically just overlapped everything. Take this bit off and around here gently. Done. This bit off. Right, so this is where the clear demarcation between the grey and the white panel is going to appear. Did I get it right? Wow, I have. I've got it. I've got it. On both sides. Oh, I'm really, really, really chuffed with that. Right, so let's get to the back end. Right, I'll take this little bit off, which is a bit blocking a cockpit. I'll probably have to put some of this back on again because I have one tiny little piece of masking to do around the diamond shape. So, oh, that's all coming off in a winner. And the stringiness you're seeing is from the white tack that I've got underneath. Let's take this big bit out under here. And the big bit at the back, which has the little bit of tape on. And this bit of masking here. Wow. Right, so the blue tack at the back has supported this bit, and I have managed to get my tiny little white line and definition on the grey. So the two lines down here have been absolutely perfect. I'm just checking. Yep, absolutely perfect. So I had a couple of little diagonal bits on that I used. That'll be that off. There was a slight angle on there. I've got a tiny wee edge of white there that I could touch up, but I'm going to be putting a panel line wash in there, so that'll take that up. And this little one. For the other angle. Again, don't know what it's looking like. I've got that pretty bang on. A little bit of white edges on it, but yeah, that'll do for me. That's going to get taken up with a panel line wash. I'm going to leave this white tack in here because I've got another coat to go on. But the definition between the two edges on here is perfect. Really couldn't be happier. Oh Christ, I need to take this bit masking tape off of here. I'll do that later. Right, so I'll just take this little extra piece off the cockpit because I won't need that for the next line of masking. I will burnish in the bit that's already there on the glass. So my little grey section on the side has come up beautifully. Let's see how the other section has come up. Not worried about that bit on the top. That's on masking. I'll take this off. And again, burnish in whatever's left on the masking in there. So what I was looking for here was perfect grey line up by the cockpit, and I've managed to do that, as you can see. Perfectly defined grey lines there with the wee white flash in the back. I managed to do that with a slightly angle bit. It's kind of slightly overmasked on that bit. And on this side, again, up the side of the cockpit, that looks perfect. It looks perfect, but we won't find out till we get the body part done. Right, okay. So, let's take this bit off. So that's got a bit of parafilm attached. I did go a little bit OTT with my masking on this, but let's see how we get on. Got that bit undone. Round here, round here, round here. We already knew that I sprayed that okay before. Round there. Another bit of masking, round there. Down the side. Yep, I've got a lot of masking tape on this. Round there. Another bit round there. And little bits of white tack in where I couldn't get into the gaps. A little tiny little strip here. Let's take that off. Right, so this is for the grey panel at the back. So that's that bit, and a little bit here. This might be like watching paint dry for some of you guys, but I'm really excited. So at the back, I wanted a small grey panel, this panel, and it has went perfectly. Just that one panel in the grey. Well, of course, we've got this section around the middle to reveal, so let's do that. Okay, so I put a bit of tape on top of the parafilm just to make sure that I had it all covered. So let's take this bit of tape off. That's that. Take the parafilm off. Again, it just unwraps. So that bit's fine. So it's all about this single masking line. Tape off. Now the reason I've oversprayed the grey on the top of this part is that the top part's slightly narrower. So let's just... Oh, yeah, dancer. So I've got a perfectly defined with the panel lines across the middle and the bottom, and the one square I wanted to do. The telltale will be when I clip the top on, will they match up? Will they match up? Almost. Right, I'm going to pull my camera in a bit, get into the better light. So, as far as the panel lining goes on this bit, it's slightly over at this side, but I can live with that. It's perfect on that side. Oh, there's a wee beastie flying about. On the middle, it's perfect. On that side, I have got it spot on. So the problem I've done on this side is I haven't quite got this bit correct by eye, but it's near enough. And from the top, because I've oversprayed the grey, it looks perfectly fine. But by the time I go in with some weathering on the panel line washes with the black Starship filth, you probably won't notice that grey bit. Of course, I've left the canopy masked, but that's my main body, okay, and it needs weathering, and my wings are fine, apart from a little bit of touch-up as well. So I only have one piece of masking to do, and it's going in the XF64 dark sea grey, and that will be the canopy. So I will go down here, along there, around the front, down this side, up there, along there, and do the dark sea grey. And as far as I'm concerned, after that, the painting is done. Apart from these parts here which will go in the same custom colour as this grey. So when I go to do those, I'll touch these up. These bands. So that's been a very successful painting session for me. If you look at the little grey bits that we wanted to do on both sides. Yeah. And on the body. The light grey and the little grey panel there. And the bit on the back. That's turned out fantastically. So that's it for episode 8. Episode 9 will be the cockpit one. And I think at that point I'll need to really get onto the LED side of it for lighting up the pilot side. It's not perfect, but it's certainly better than I'd hoped for. I haven't done a lot of masking. So I hope you guys have found this useful. As always, anything to say, comment in the comment section below. This is Terry from Smooth's Workshop, and as always, happy modelling. Till episode 8. See you later.